3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Razor from RazorTube coming at you with some more Rust Console Edition content today. And what we're going to be covering, today's topic is going to be the ultimate beginner's tugboat guide for the Rust Console PTB on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation 5. If you guys are new to the channel, drop that sub and like, and hit that notification bell for the most up-to-date and recent Rust Console Edition news. I'm here with our boy Jay Monkey. Say hello. And now we're going to get into where you can get the tugboat and what you can do with it. First things first, I'll give you a brief overview of what this little bad boy can do. Is you can use it as a fob, you can use it as a defensive type of vehicle, and an offensive type of vehicle depending on what you're doing. In order to gain access to the tugboat, what you're going to be doing is looking for it at your local harbor. At the local harbor nearest you, there will be 2 spawns for this boat, meaning only 2 spawn per harbor, and there can only be 4 on the map at all times. Now, with that being said, you're going to have to always have some of your kits and basically gas ready to go. Once it's ready to go, you want to bury it next to the harbor if you don't find any, with next to a sleeping bag. You know how you guys always put sleeping bags next to your base when you want to counter a raid? Well, this is kind of like countering little tugboat thieves, right? You put a bag next to the harbor, you put a go kit for your tugboat. Once you get the tugboat, you're going to get on it up in the front here. And basically what you're going to be doing is going to the tugboat console in the bridge. You're going to go ahead and hit X on it, hold that button down, and then you're going to authorize on the tugboat. Once you authorize on the tugboat, you can do what you please on here, meaning you put the fuel in, you can drive around the map, do whatever you want, you can place deployables, and more importantly, you can place doors to seal it up. Full disclosure, do not use this as a main base at all, okay? So with the doors, obviously you can put any type of door. You can put wooden doors on here too, right? I've never actually done that, the cheap brokey way.
I mean, it's better than no door.
That's true. With that being said, if you don't have any metal frags to put on metal doors right off the rip, basically you want to use wooden doors until you can upgrade. Now, this fancy little boat is kind of like a mobile base. Now, do remember that with this specific boat, okay, that it goes just as fast as cargo. You can go and raid monuments with it. You can basically go around the map and raid bases with it. But there is a hard counter to this boat, okay? Now, once you take it over, you put your deployables wherever you want, you got to be wary of submarines. The way to keep track of it is when you're driving and you have this on, is the sonar will beep and give away the location on the radar where that submarine is closest to you. Obviously, when you're operating this, you want to be doing wiggles and trying to get away from, you know, the submarine by doing the serpentine.
Serpentine.
But it takes 12 torpedoes to raid this. Obviously, when this boat is not sank, you can raid the doors with, I believe, Explo and rockets, but satchels right now are kind of glitched for it, and the C4 as well. So,
but you will be able to at some point
yes,
when they do fix it. So just know that it is intended for you to use all raiding materials.
Yes, you can raid this with all materials, but since we're in the testing version, this is the best guide that you can use for right now. Everything obviously is subject to change once this is released on main branch on June 27th. So we'll see what happens. They might even drag the testing phase out a little bit longer to work out some of the kinks. But anyways, now we've talked about the raiding, you know, costs and everything, and what you can raid with against the tugboat. Let's talk about what the tugboat's actually useful for. Now, I said offensive and defensive, you know, type of tactics, but you can use this for anything you want. You can gather resources. You can basically loot monuments in it. You can set it up however you like. Now, if you notice Jade here, when he turns it on, it's pretty fast. It can keep up with cargo. and you can definitely hit up oil rig with this. The problem is when you get next to monuments, it works just like sleeping bags. Sleeping bags and beds that are deployed on this don't work in monument areas. So you have to make sure that you're like 1 to 2 squares out from the monument that you're trying to loot in order to spawn back in. Now, also, when you think about this boat and you're like, okay, well, I want to move around the map with it, you keep in mind, you can only go 17.5 squares out from the shore before you hit the kill zone for this boat. Once you hit that, bye-bye boat.
It's instant.
It's
instant.
instant.
There's no indication. You got to count.
You got to count it yourself manually. So keep that in mind when you're driving this around. And it's pretty devastating because, honestly, you lose everything on the boat. And that sucks if you looted every monument and you're keeping this, on the ball, and all of a sudden, boom, every single one of your runs is gone. So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's talk about deployables and what can actually go on here. And then that's pretty much a pretty good beginner's guide for you guys. So when you're looking at this boat as a whole, on the bottom you have the lower deck here, which we've created our own airlock with a workbench, a locker, and a research table. Obviously, nobody can come in. These items can take a lot of damage before somebody can shoot their way in when your door's open if they kill you. It gives you enough chance to spawn on your bag, which our bags aren't here right now. They are, but they're invisible. And once you spawn in, it gives you enough time to run to the front door and obviously shut it. So you can put boxes, lockers, fridges, workbenches, research tables, repair benches, anything you want on this bad boy. And at night, like Jade's showing you and showcasing you, the lights turn on. So you have sources of light on the boat, but the engine's obviously got to go for a little while in order for it to come on. And now keep this in mind, you can have the boat in idle. One thing is when it's in idle, it only uses one low grade fuel, and then eventually it turns off itself. So it has like an auto off, which is nice. But the one thing that we haven't found out or tested yet is, okay, if a submarine's cruising up, I got it in idle and I'm downstairs, can I hear the sonar beep? That would be cool. We haven't had that.
We should be able to, but the question is on PTB, is it working right now?
Exactly. So keep that in mind when you're leaving this bad boy on. So other things you could do is you could pimp out your ride with the any deployables to block any let's say boarding party for the lack of a better word, just in case somebody jumps on your boat. You can put ladders on the sides just like we have here. You notice this is slowing me down. I know it's dark and it's hard to see, but you can do these type of tactics in order to stop boarding parties. You can put fridges on the side. You can put anything in the way to absorb damage from torpedoes. We have what Jade likes to call jersey walls. The jersey walls can absorb torpedo hits from the back from hitting your door, which is super nice. So keep this in mind when you get a tugboat. I think pretty much this vehicle, being one of the biggest ones on the map, is highly noticeable. So you want to store it out in the ocean or hide it somewhere, maybe near your base if you can pull it off. But this is going to be a prime target for any big type of Zerg. I think it's excellent for solos and duos and trios in order to operate around the map and get monuments. But with all that being said, I think these are pretty much all the tips I can give you for right now to put into this Ultimate Beginner's Guide for the Tugboat on Rust Console. I will see you guys next video. Hopefully you guys like it. If you guys have any tips or tricks that you want to reveal since you've played with this on the testing branch, go ahead and put in the comment section below. That'd be super helpful for the community and myself, because I'm just learning these now. Even though I've played with them on PC, it's been a while. So I will see you next video. Bye. I'm gonna get my boat and leave. Oh my god, I'm blind. All right, let's go, Jade.
Hey.
Turn it off. Turn it off.